Hi, this is Mike. I'm reading Robert Alter's translation of Exodus chapter 36. And Moses called Bezalel and Oholiab and every wise-hearted man in whose heart Yahweh had given wisdom, everyone whose heart moved him to approach the task to do it. And they took from before Moses all the donation that the Israelites had brought for the task of the holy work to do it. And they on their part brought more freewill gifts morning after morning. And all the wise people who were doing the holy task came, and each man from his task that he was doing. And they said to Moses, saying, The people are bringing too much for the work of the task that Yahweh charged to do. And Moses charged, and they sent word through the camp, saying, Let each man and woman do no further task for the holy donation. The people were held back from bringing, and the task was enough to do all the task, and more. And every wise-hearted man among the doers of the task made the tabernacle. 10 panels of twisted linen, and indigo and purple and crimson, 2 cherubim, designers' work, they made them. The length of the one panel 28 cubits, and a width 4 cubits to the panel, a single measure for all the panels. And they joined the 5 panels one to another. 5 panels they joined one to another. And they made indigo loops along the edge of the outermost panel in the set. And thus they did on the outermost panel in the other set. 50 loops they made in the one panel, and 50 loops they made in the outermost panel, which was in the other set, the loops opposite one another. And they made 50 golden clasps, and joined the panels to one another with the clasps, and the tabernacle became one whole. And they made goat hair panels for a tent over the tabernacle. 11 panels they made them. The length of the one panel 30 cubits, and a width of 4 cubits to the panel, a single measure for the 11 panels. And they joined 5 of the panels by themselves, and 6 of the panels by themselves. And they made 50 loops along the edge of the outermost panel in the set, and 50 loops along the edge of the outermost panel in the other set. And they made 50 bronze clasps to join the tent to become one whole. And they made a covering for the tent of reddened ram skins and ochre-dyed skins above. And they made boards for the tabernacle of acacia wood, upright, 10 cubits the length of the board, and a cubit and a half the width of the single board. 2 tenons for the one board linked to each other. Thus they did for all the boards of the tabernacle. And they made the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the southern end, and 40 silver sockets they made beneath the 20 boards, 2 sockets beneath the one board for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets beneath the one board for its 2 tenons. And in the other side of the tabernacle, at the northern end, 20 boards. And there 40 silver sockets, 2 sockets beneath the one board, and 2 sockets beneath the one board. And at the rear of the tabernacle to the west, they made 6 boards. And they made 2 boards for the corners of the tabernacle at the rear. And they matched below, and together they ended at the top inside the one ring. Thus they did for the 2 of them at the 2 corners. And there were 8 boards with their silver sockets, 16 sockets, 2 sockets beneath the one board. And they made 5 crossbars of acacia wood for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 crossbars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 crossbars for the boards of the tabernacle at the rear to the west. And they made the central crossbar to shoot through the boards from end to end. And the boards they overlaid with gold, and their rings they made of gold, housings for the crossbars, and they overlaid the crossbars with gold. And they made the curtain of indigo and purple and crimson and twisted linen, designers' work they made it, with cherubim. And they made for it 4 acacia posts, and overlaid them with gold, their hooks gold, and they cast for them 4 silver sockets. And they made a screen for the entrance of the tent, indigo and purple and crimson and twisted linen, embroiderer's work, and its 5 posts and its hooks, and they overlaid their tops and their bands with gold, and their 5 sockets with bronze.